Well, at this hour, 10 years ago, residents along the Gulf Coast were bracing for Hurricane Ivan to make landfall.
Everyone south of I-10 had been evacuated as the hurricane warning stretched 300 miles of coastline. The Category 3 hurricane killed nearly 100 people and caused more than $18 billion in damage.
Local 15's Christina Zverjako was down at the beach today. Christina, residents there remember the deadly storm very well, don't they?
Yes, Greg. Hurricane Ivan left a lasting impression on the Gulf Coast as it made landfall almost exactly 10 years ago.
There was still a lot of chaos going on. I remember that.
September 15, 2004, Baldwin County EMA Director Mitchell Sims was an injured firefighter in Gulf Shores, bracing for Hurricane Ivan.
The only time in my career that I've evacuated for a storm was for that storm. And so we took my wife, 4 daughters, a bird, a dog, and our pop-up camper and headed out of here.
Sims wasn't alone. Most of Pleasure Island's residents heeded to the warning.
It was a situation where we knew we were going to have to go, and we learned a lot in that we didn't go soon enough because we had a lot of traffic, but we got out.
This time 10 years ago, streets of Gulf Shores and Orange Beach were deserted, houses boarded up, and just after 2 a.m., Ivan made landfall.
If you get really close to the arrival time, you start feeling a lot of humidity. There's a gustiness. You can just feel the tropical arrival in the air.
Over 100-mile-per-hour winds battered the coast. Although most rode out the storm in a safer location, 10 years later, it's one that they learned from and one that they will not forget.
It was probably good for me to experience an evacuation, so I understand that when we pull a trigger here to evacuate, I really understand what people are going through.
We will continue our coverage of the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Ivan tomorrow with remembering more about the devastation and recovery efforts. Live in Baldwin County Bureau, Christina Zverjako, Local 15 News.
Can't believe that was almost 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. I remember like yesterday I was in North Alabama, but we came down here and covered it.
And Ivan really took a little jog right at the last minute before making a dead-on hit to Mobile.
It certainly did. Yeah, and I rode out the storm in Spanish Fort 10 years ago, and tell you it was a scary night. And we were thinking that it was going to make landfall somewhere Harrison-Jackson County, Mississippi. But as nightfall approached, it looked like the track. It took that eastward jog, and it ended up being Baldwin County. And so we just rode out the storm. Classmate of mine from Mississippi State actually grew up in Spanish Fort. We spent the night in his house. When he was a kid, he went through Frederick in the same house. So definitely a scary night. First landfall for me at night. I've been in 6 hurricanes, and that was a scary one.
Can't see what's going on. It's kind of scary.
I know. I'll never forget it.
All right.
It may be fall, but the heat